Hello and welcome to Angry Andy Reviews, and today I'm doing something a little bit different. I owe what you would call a debt to a very good friend of mine, and I'm going to be taking a look at one of his favourite board games, probably his only favourite board game, and he's not very much a board game man as far as I know. I think he's played a bit of Trivial Pursuit with his mum, but other than that, he is absolutely obsessed with this game, so I promised him I would get it and take a look at it. And I have played it myself, and it is Munchkin by Steve Jackson Games.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy. Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews.
Angry Andy.
Angry Andy Reviews. Angry Andy Reviews.
Don't make me destroy you.
So, Munchkin by Steve Jackson Games is a really fun game. I haven't opened this copy yet of mine, but like I said, I have played the game. I played it with my good friend, Mr. John Kovalic, and a couple of our other friends who are subscribers to this channel. And thanks, guys, for being so supportive and for checking out this video, which I know you will as well. And we had a really great time with this game. I think we've all pretty much got copies of it now. I haven't opened this yet, but for me, I know exactly what I'm getting into. And this game is pretty much like a Dungeons and Dragons kind of game. It has a great amount of depth to it, and the artwork, as you've seen on the box, is really good fun, really quite smart, and it's just the level of the level of characters and cards you get in this game is just insane. So basically the premise is, it says it on the front of the box: kill the monsters, steal the treasure, and stab your buddy. And that is it. That is the premise. You go from room to room collecting treasure, defeating monsters, and if your friend needs your help, you can either choose to help them, or you can absolutely turn your back on them and punish them even further, which is what happens especially later on in the end game stages. So let's have a look at the back there. You can see a bit more detail. So you got some artwork there of the cards you'd find. I love the artwork. I think the artwork is fantastic. It's really funny. There's such variation to all the different cards you get in, and the board itself, although it's very simple, as you can probably tell there, and looks quite small, but these games can last absolutely ages the more players you've got in. So how many players was it again? So there was 4 of us playing it. I think that was probably just about right. Where is it? It doesn't really say it on the box. That's interesting, unless I'm completely missing it altogether. But what you get inside, contents, as it says right here, you get the game board, obviously. You get 168 different cards. You get a rule sheet, which is extremely intense. You get 1 custom die and 12 standees. 12 standees, that's interesting. Okay, so there is a difference here between this copy that I've got and the copy that my friend has at home, and I'm going to go through that, I'm pretty sure. So here we go. Let's get the box open. Dead simple box, and immediately you are presented with a rule sheet, card management, setup, everything. And at first, when you first get out, you don't think it's going to be that full, but just look at that. Absolutely jam-packed with rules and stats, everything to do with the treasure, death, curses, you name it, everything is here, which is great. It's great, but if you're looking to hit the ground running with this, you might want to take some time, which is exactly what we had to do when we first entered into it. Johnny had to basically spend about half an hour just going through the basics, and even when we were playing, we were still like, well, what does this mean? What do we do? Which I guess you get in most board games, but with this especially, it is quite intricate, quite in-depth. But even on the rule sheet, you know, look at the artwork. The artwork is fantastic. You can see it there. Just really good fun, really interesting, diverse characters, brilliant. And immediately, so you get character cards. So you get your little player card thing. So, oh, there's 6 there. 2, 4, no, 8. I can't count at all. Maths is shocking. So there you are. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. No, 6, Andrew. 6, for God's sake. My maths isn't the best. So you can have 6 players, but the main thing here for me is that these are card. Now, interesting enough, when I first played this, they had little plastic tokens, not card tokens, and yeah, okay, you get a bit of artwork there on the card tokens, whereas the plastic one is just like a little model, very reminiscent of the Munchkin himself there. But I think I prefer the plastic. I don't know why. I think I prefer the plastic. My only concern is that these might bend and get a bit out shaped, and you know, if you spill a drink or you accidentally drop it in a cup of tea or beer, as was the case that night, there's possibility of these getting damaged, where the plastic ones have a bit more sort of rigidity, a bit more of a lifetime guarantee to them. So that's a little bit disappointing there with that. But like I said, the artwork is great. There's no mistaking which colour you are or whatever. So there you have it. I guess there are spares there as well. Next up is the board. Now the board is dead simple. Dead simple. It's just, you know, some board games you unpack it and then you're unpacking again and again and again. This is just straight up, just 2 sides, and quite simply, you know, it's very easy to follow. Just going straight up, all the way around. And each individual room you get to, you have to fight a monster. You have to pull a card out and fight a monster there. I can't remember the rules specifically, and I'm not really going to go through them today because they are really insane. But there are a couple of YouTube videos out there from the makers of this game who go through the rules, and it's quite funny. I think Will Wheaton is in the one that I watched, which I was linked to by Johnny, and it's really, really funny to watch. But again, go back to it. Nice and simple, a really nice and simple board, and it's kind of, you know, lies to you about how intense and how like entertaining the game's going to be. The board, you know, I wonder if they could do something a bit more with the board, but you don't need to, because every bit of enjoyment you get, every bit of intricacy, all the all the madness that ensues comes away from the board. It's not linked to the board itself, so you can forgive it, I guess. But there you have it. There's the board. What are these? What are these? Oh, these are the okay. So these are the bases for the little plastic, the little cardboard cutouts. Yeah, that's okay. That's okay. But again, I'm still disappointed that I think they somewhere along the line they've gone reduce the cost and just release some cardboard cutouts, which is fine. I understand it, but I'd love some plastic ones, or even if they would do like, I don't know, maybe like a collector's edition one, to choose some like metal versions. So what else have we got? I've got the standard die, as you can see there. Delightful. Only one. Fabulous. Got some silica gel. Get rid of that damp. And there are 2 decks of cards. 2 decks of cards. Magic. And that is it for the box itself. Besides a few little other bits and pieces on the side there. So Steve Jackson has got a lot of other games going. And interestingly enough, you can get expansions to this game now. So you can, you know, grow away from just the bog standard board here. Obviously, you still use the board. But what I mean is, sort of like the, you know, these base packs, you can add to it. You can use a different thing altogether. I think they've got like a dinosaur one, space one, all sorts of craziness, which is just baffling. Hang on. Oh, here we go. Let's get one of these packs open. Oh, got plastic everywhere. And the great thing about these cards is there are little subtle jokes in, you know, to all the different names. So, I mean, Just taking one out of the pack. The Wand of Dowsing. Let me just see that properly. Is it going to focus in? Come on, focus in. It's a card, for Christ's sake. Camera can't even work properly. There we go. So go through the discards to find any one card you want. Take the card and discard this one. Usable only once. So there are little key cards to help try and boost your character. And there are also cards to do damage or take away something from somebody else. Here's one. I think somebody had this when we played. Tuba of Charm. Oh, come on, focus in. Come on! Oh, it's not going to do it, is it? But look at that. I mean, you get the idea immediately. So, the melodious instrument captivates your foes, giving you +3 to run away if you successfully escape combat. Snag a face-down treasure on your way out. So there are all sorts of different cards. So basically, you know, you could... Oh, no. Ah, bit of camera trouble there, sorry for that. But as I was saying, or as I was going to say, is that there are all sorts of different cards and there is all sorts of different enemies that you can come across, any type of leveled enemy, and you may not have the necessary power or level yourself in order to beat that particular enemy. So just for example, let's see if I can find one here. Brilliant. So you may be like a level 4 and come across the Ghoul Fiend. Look at that card. Basically, no item helps against them, fight with your level only. So basically, no items in your possession would help you in this. So if you're a level 6 with, say, I don't know, a level 4 sword or something, that wouldn't count. So it's basically level 6 versus level 8. The bad stuff, your level becomes equal to the lowest level of any character in play. So basically, if you lose that fight, you have to take penalties against you, and that's where the fun starts to happen. So in this case, level 6 versus these level 8 Ghoul Fiends, I would have to ask for assistance from a friend, and that's where the interesting and intricate part of the game comes in, because then you could be persecuted for making that decision, or have to give them some treasure or something that you would afterwards, after fighting the monster, have to scour the room for. Like I said, the rules are very intricate, but the fun is in essentially asking for help or denying help, and then demanding things of others as you come across these higher level creatures and characters. And the creatures that you come across are baffling. As I mean, some of these I haven't even seen. Some of these, some of them are incredible. Wait. There, yes. Lawyers. You can come across enemy lawyers. Level 6 lawyers will not attack a thief. Professional courtesy, it says in brackets. A thief encountering a lawyer may instead discard 2 treasures and draw 2 new ones face down. The bad stuff. So if you lose, he hits you with an injunction. Let each other player draw 1 card from your hand, starting with the player to your left. Discard any remainders. Brilliant. This game is pretty much like, I'd say, because I like Dungeons and Dragons, but I'd say this is sort of like a, you know, if you want to have like a really sort of relaxed game night, if you're doing a bit of, as we did on that particular night, we did a bit of a Call of Duty session, and we had a few drinks and whatever, and then we played a bit of this, and then obviously went back and forth. And I think this game is ideal for it because it's all about the comedy. I mean, the comedy factor of these cards is immense. I'm just trying to open this other pack. There we go. Don't do that, kids. But the fun, I mean, let's just have a look. The dog's barking away there in the background. Maybe he wants to play. And there are curse cards as well, so you can be cursed. I forgot about these. You can be cursed. If you pick something up, you can be dealt a curse. So, dog is still barking down there. So basically, lose your race. Discard any races you have in play and become human. So basically, you can pick a race which gives you bonuses at the start of the game, and you can build on those and attach different weapons, items to all of those. It's all quite varied. Let me just see if I can find another monster. Oh, because these monsters are incredible. Brilliant, brilliant, absolutely brilliant. So, level 1, drooling slime. I mean, just the artwork is fantastic. I mean, you can just about see it there. The camera doesn't really pick up the artwork too well, but it's fantastic. Lucky slime, +4 against elves. Bad stuff, discard the footgear you are wearing, lose a level if you have no footgear. Brilliant. But that's just it. There are all different cards that have different active effects that deal damage to you in the immediacy, or that you can build up and create a massive arsenal. Our friend that night, Dan, he somehow managed to obtain about 20 different cards that all gave him active bonuses every time he went into a battle, and it became our goal essentially to remove him of all those items. And that's what it becomes. It becomes basically a race to level 10, and obviously the higher you go, the more difficult things can be, or the easier things can be. So I think at level 10, I can't remember who won that game specifically, if I remember, the enemy they came across was something ridiculous, like a level 2 enemy, and he breezed through the end. But it was getting there that was the hard part, and it can happen in the immediacy from the start of the game as well. But all in all, I'm gushing about this game because I'm actually really excited I've actually got it. I'm excited that I've opened it finally, and it is a game that is best played with a number of people. I'd say more than 4, even though you can probably play with 1, you can probably play 2 or 3. I'd say more than 4, because then you get all the variety of the cards coming through, and that's what you want. You want that variety of all the cards coming through the deck and people picking them up and having a good time with some of the, the crazy creatures that you come across. And I've only picked out like a couple there. There are some absolutely bizarre ones. Let's see if I can find one before we stop. Oh, here we go. I think I came across this one actually. Level 16 Undead King Tut. Will not pursue anyone. There we go, just show you that there quickly. Will not pursue anyone of level 3 or below. Higher level characters lose 2 levels even if they escape. So basically, that is a tricky opponent to get past. Bad stuff, lose all your items and all your cards in your hand. So if you lose everything. Excellent. Fantastic. But there you have it. There is Munchkin by Steve Jackson Games. Wonderfully illustrated by John Kovalic. Brilliant game. If you're a big fan of RPG games like this, and want something that is intricate but has a lot of open-ended fun to it, I cannot recommend this game more, Munchkin more. As much as I do love Dungeons and Dragons, it's a long game. It's a long, sort of like progressive game that can go on for weeks, months even. I've got one that's still going on that's over 2 years now. But this game, if you want something very similar to that with a little bit of a popcorn, bit of fun to it, then this game is exactly for you. And if you burn through it, like I said, there are expansion packs out there and everything. I have not been sponsored by Steve Jackson or anything like that. This is simply just me gushing over this game. So, like I did with the Evil Dead game, if I enjoy it, I'm going to share it with you. So, there you go. You can find this game on Amazon as well. All the expansion packs are on there as well. But that is it. I am going to spend the rest of the next afternoon just going through all these cards, because some of these I haven't seen. So, very excited to do that. But thank you very much for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please do like and subscribe to the channel for more things like this, more collectibles, more unboxings and the like. And thank you very much for Johnny Astley for getting me and our group of friends into this game, because it's bloody hilarious, bloody fantastic. And once all this lockdown madness is over and done with, I'm pretty sure we'll be having a mad session of it. But thank you very much for watching, everyone. See you next time. Bye bye.